States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
One nation.
with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to remind everybody that's at home, if you have your mics muted, that would be great, just so that we don't get the feedback in the room. We'd really appreciate that. Item 1.3 is to call roll. Michelle Gentine.
The response should be absent.
Okay. Lisa Merrick. Karen Houston. Abby Block.
Yes, present.
Michelle Warner.
Said she might be late.
Betty Ackley is here. Nicole Bredesen.
Here.
Mike Heimbach.
Here.
Kate Hodges. Christine Potter. Gretchen
Here.
Houston.
Here.
And Kevin Post. Item 2.1 is to approve the minutes of the August 26, 2020 meeting. Is there any discussion? If not, then I'm looking for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, seconded by
Second.
Abby.
Not sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
All right, minutes are approved. Moving on to item 3.1. We have an update from the survey subcommittee.
No, that's Michelle Warner's group.
Okay, so I'm gonna speak for Michelle and let you guys know that we do have the online assessment completed. We just need to get that out to the group, so we will have that before the next meeting. And the next item is item 3.3, which is the review of the, or sorry, I messed up, didn't I? Sorry. It should have been, I missed item 3.1, which is the update from the survey subcommittee. Abby, is that yours?
Nope, so Joe and Kate and I are the online assessment committee. I think that was pretty much everybody else that was on the survey committee. I can look back potentially and get notes. I know Michelle Warner had put together some information, but she said she might be late.
Right. So should we keep going?
Sure. I don't know if it's allowable to come back to that, if she does get here.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna come back and revisit that later. Item number 3.3 is the review of the pet ordinances.
I'll go ahead and share my screen. You should have gotten an attachment with our progress so far on the online assessment, which we're pretty much through all of it, minus a couple questions that we were hoping the survey committee could help with getting answers to. And you guys feel free to jump in. Oh, shoot, I just closed that, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Technical difficulties.
There we go. Frequently, apparently. Okay. How do I close that? Okay. Sorry, are you able to see the assessment on your screens? No?
Yep.
You are at home able to see it? Or wherever you're meeting from? Okay.
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
here we go.
Got it.
Thank you. Basically, starting with demographics, pretty basic. This is an automatic calculation that comes up. Kate and Joe, do you want to talk about the shelter situation and the parks? Sorry, I don't have a voice that carries to begin with. without the mask. So just basically said that demographics are really the start of this online assessment, and then it moves into information about, like you see, the shelters and then the parks. So Kate and Joe, I don't know if you have anything to add?
No, everything's pretty well listed.
Okay.
Everything's pretty well listed on it.
So really, this is the area that we are hoping the survey committee can help with as we are looking for information about the number of businesses or certain businesses that allow pets, that allow employees to bring pets. If that's something that could go out in the survey to the community, that would be helpful. Should I just keep scrolling? There's just a couple others that we didn't answer. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Kate, did you have anything to add?
It's super hard to hear from the people
Sorry.
that aren't in the space, just so you know. So
Okay.
I feel like if everyone kind of peeks at this document and just sees like, some of it is a little bit of objective, but a lot of the information is something that I think we can work on as like a group, and certain things that need to be sent out for survey to the public or through the chamber. It would be a really helpful thing to kind of get more opinions or input from a lot more people. We're just kind of a like small subcommittee that was trying to get all this information. And then kind of reaching out to people that you know, and kind of getting this out to more businesses, I feel like would be very helpful. I know housing was just brought up to me by the owner of a very large manufacturing corporation in this area, and they had someone actually leave after a very short time being here because the neighborhood wasn't great. They only had one or two options for the size animal they had. So it's definitely something that we can kind of look into and see what are the options realistically, and what kind of incentives we can give people that do own properties to allow for a little bit more leniency. I know that's not, not everyone has control over because it's a management situation, but there definitely could be some things that could be done. So yeah, that's my input.
Well, thank you, Kate. I appreciate your help with this. We have the next item on the agenda is item number 3.3, which is the review of the pet ordinances.
Actually,
Or
I just,
you have more?
sorry, I don't carry my voice very well. We just wanted to talk briefly about a potential event that our committee started working on, and I did include an attachment, but I will bring it up on the screen also. Dogtoberfest.
Yeah, I can speak to that. So our small committee, as we were working on our project, our assessment, Katie is also with Humane Society, and I pitched an idea. The Humane Society is in the middle of a capital campaign, and I've always had the idea of a one-day event of allowing dogs on the beach after the swim season is over. I pitched that idea to Kate, and she really liked it. They want to run with it. I've got some things to do because it is an ordinance that dogs are not allowed on the beach. So I'm working through that in hopes to have an approval for this event and by the 24th of October. So we've pegged the event for the October 24th. We hope this group would be in approval of it. And we see it as a good time to also have a questionnaire out there from our committee to the community. We see it as a really good time to let people know what our ordinances are currently, because anytime you do drive by, the land, you do see dogs on the beach and in areas that they shouldn't be. So We see it as a really good educational and on learning for us as a committee and an event, especially this year, open outside, where families can bring their pet and have a good time. And the money can go towards the capital campaign of the Humane Society that, you know, they do that so much for this community. So we're trying to give back to them too.
Can I just say, so this is not yet public, and I really just kind of threw this together, so I don't think we're at the point of sharing this flyer with anybody. I think,
Exactly. No, this needs to take several steps to pass through communities, through some committees. But we and Kate with Humane Society are working to develop this event in hopes that it's going to be approved.
Joe, do you know when we might be able to start making it public and advertising it?
That's a very, very difficult question. I mean, the reality of it, we probably wouldn't have the approval until the 19th, the official approval. But at some point in there, I think, especially maybe after Public Works, we could start advertising this.
Okay, and that's the week before official?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay. Kate, did you have anything to add?
I think I actually just got an email today from our marketing and outreach coordinator. Her name is also Kate. So it went out to all the volunteers to see if there's anyone that would like to help with this. So we will have a little bit of support from our volunteer base, but we also have the Subaru, there's a Subaru event. I can't remember what it's called, something with love. And it's actually one of our it's a very popular event. So we're hoping that we do have to have some people there. So we're hoping that we have enough people that if we have some people from this committee to help out, that we won't stretch our volunteers too thin. And we can kind of, if the weather is really nice, then the Subaru event people can kind of share the information that we're down at the beach. And we can also, it's called Share the Love, that's what it's called. We can also kind of share the event at Subaru so that it's very much a community shared event so that everyone knows a little bit more about it because it is such a short time span. But yes, and I know that I talked to Michelle Gentine as well about like having vendors and if possibly it's more mostly just from our committee since the weather is so iffy in October. But we can talk more about that in the future and see what we want for options for vendors and people that come along. Because I know that some of our vendors that I was looking at are already coming to Subaru. So we'll kind of talk about details later, but yeah, I'm excited.
Kate, and the reality is too, this was a short notice thing. I could keep taking steps to get an ordinance change to approve this. If it's determined that, you know, maybe we just shouldn't have this event this year, I'm okay with talking about that also, but we'd be prepared in the future.
Maybe a potential date change? Yeah, okay. Okay, that is it.
Okay, is that it? Yeah. Okay, awesome. Okay, so now we're really going to item 3.3, which
Could I
is.
add, I just want to add
sorry.
one thing to that.
Looking
Looking,
to this one, over here, the red one. See the red one that's
Oh.
on? There you go. Otherwise, people can't hear you.
where the heck am I? I think during normal times, this would be a wonderful event to have, but these aren't normal times. Reading in the different papers how COVID is spiking in Wisconsin. And to have large gatherings, I don't know how many people would come. I mean, we'd like under normal times to have a great crowd and a lot of excitement and participation. Again, these aren't normal times. And I'm not sure that something like this is prudent this year. So just wanted to throw that out.
Thank you for your input on that. We appreciate that. That brings up a good point and something we should definitely be considering. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else have any comments about Dogtoberfest? Okay, I guess we will be moving on to item number 3.3, which is the review of the pet ordinances. Who has those? Abby?
Me?
Yes, Mr.
Oh.
Mayor?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Those ordinances were set out just for people to understand all the different ordinances that we do have on the books right now to deal with pets in our community. At a future meeting, I hope that we can review these and take a look at maybe some possible changes. If we're going to try to open up other parks for dogs and cats and things like that, this would be the time when those things would be suggested. So that's just for information right now and something that we can deal with at a future meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your input. Okay, and moving on to item 4.1, our next meeting date is October 28th, 2020. And since we have exhausted our agenda, item number 4.2 is adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
Aye.
The chair votes
Aye.
we are adjourned. Thank you for your time today.